Hi there, I'm Matt,
I'm Armando,
and we're Pendley's Plentiful Pets.
Arizona Fish Rescue, based out of Kingman, Arizona.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, maybe throw a share out there. Be much appreciated. Every little bit goes back towards these fishies. We do have a Cash App at Save the Fishies or a Zelly at 928-263-9626. Thank you so much for watching. What are we doing today, Armando?
We're going to start off with this tank right here. We're going to catch up on these water changes. We're just going to drain it about 75% of the way. And then we're going to start dosing some Florus Excel, which is basically just glutaraldehyde or bioavailable carbon.
It's like a food?
No, it's not a food. Well, it's sort of like a food, but what it does is it boosts plants' access to nutrients, so that way they can outcompete algae. Okay. Because we're getting a little bit of like blackbeard algae. There's no staghorn or anything, but just a little bit of hair algae and some blackbeard, which is being beaten. We just want to beat it to the punch before it starts to take over, because we do have some Anubias leaves back here kind of starting to melt a little bit. We just want to do like maybe a week's worth of Excel dosing with each water change, and then it'll probably be good from there. And that's where we're going to start with this tank, and then we're just going to move around the facility and do little various things we got going today.
Okay, I believe we can do a water change on the lemon blue-eyed Plecos, right? Yeah, and then we need to also add some fish to the monster tank. So if you're curious, we have a 1,000-gallon monster tank. We're going to be adding some little fishies that we're going to try and get turned into some real big fishies. So tag along, hang out. We're going to zoom in on here and get everything set up and going.
All right.
So you got your drain hose, my man?
Drain hose
should be off to the right or behind you. I used it most recently. Nope. Okay, hold on. Let me see if it's on its shelf. I just used it. Why is it? Here we go. And a bucket, good sir. I will get you a bucket.
See, the cool thing is even these Java ferns are getting new leaves.
There you go. Little drain hose.
All right.
I need to pan down a little bit.
Pull this lid.
And then I'm going to unplug this. Get that reflection off. Ta-da! All right. And if anyone's curious what this looks like, I'm going to do a quick little zoom in. These plants are looking really good.
Still only a couple of weeks old, so it's got a long way to go, but it's really shaping up nicely.
We're about 3 weeks to 4 weeks in on planting and doing all of this aquascaping. Starting to see a little bit of these holes in the plants. What was that called again?
It's just a little bit of melting. And it's pretty common with epiphyte plants because they're grown in very specific conditions. So when you move them, especially with this aqua soil starting to buffer the pH down, the plants are going to melt a little bit back, and then the new leaves are going to be the ones acclimated to it, which is why these new leaves on the Anubias Java fern look so good, and the ones that were already on there starting to yellow a little bit, get a little bit of holes, because they're just acclimated to different conditions from the other tanks. Okay. So we have a very high pH here in Arizona, and these guys are kind of like acclimated to that. They've been in these tanks a long time. This aqua soil is pushing the pH down probably 2, so probably like 6, 7. Which is a lot better nutrient access to the plants, but to the leaves that are used to growing in harder water with higher pH, it's going to be a little bit different for them. Okay. But it's going good so far. Also, we're getting some dwarf hairgrass fronds creeping up already. Like you got some little small ones creeping up right in between there, some right there. You got this little one creeping up right there. So you should have a carpet here in 6 months to a year. If you had CO2, it'd probably be half that time, but this is a bit much to use CO2 on. The other plants get way too bushy.
Oh yeah, we don't need CO2. All natural. Save some money. This is a little bit of everything we've pulled from the rescue and put together here and there. I'm going to get the fill tank going.
there any what?
Is there any trimmings we're going to be doing?
Oh yeah, after we fill the tank back up, we're just going to pull some of these more unsightly and nubious leaves, and we're just going to float to the top.
Okay, you got these.
What's up?
You got these nice little scissors over here too. We can use.
Yeah, if we were doing like hair grass trimming or stems, we would have done it before because it gets a little bit messy. But with Anubias and Java fern leaves, they're just going to float up in one solid piece. You pull them out with some tweezers.
We need to wipe that glass down with anything. Need a magic eraser? Or something?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a little bit of bacteria on the glass. We can do with that. All right, that's a majority water change.
I believe I'm out of magic erasers right now. If I remember, my last tank cleaning took the rest of them.
You can also use some filter sponge. That's some of my favorite way to go about it. Yeah, that too. And we're just gonna give this a little bit.
Dump out your bucket. So you guys might hear a little crisp splash. Sorry. We just dump the bucket. If you have plants or anything, I would highly recommend giving that water to any plants. If you have a garden, they will love it. They will eat it all day.
Especially with a tank like this with all those free-floating excess nutrients from the aqua soil, they will love it. Even just regular fish tank, non-planted fish tanks, they love nitrates. Nitrogen, plants love it. It's what plants crave. Let's get some of that deposits before it accumulates.
Right. Water, man, it's what plants need. Idiocracy, dude. Sorry.
All right, there we go.
You quoted, "It's what plants need."
All right, and then we're
ready to fill up. Yep.
Let's get this.
You want to know a random little fact?
What's up?
Do you know Crocs are big because of Idiocracy?
I did not know that.
Yep. No. Idiocracy, if you watch that film, they're Crocs. Everyone's wearing Crocs because they didn't know what other shoes to wear, and this one person promoted them. Next thing you know, 10 years later, they're the biggest shoes.
You know, that makes enough sense for this modern day world.
I mean, hey, if you think about it, people didn't like flip-flops at one point, and that's all I ever wear, unless I absolutely have to wear shoes for work.
Actually, do you want to throw some moss right here on this little part of the tree before it fills?
What kind of moss?
Some of this down here. We're just going to take some, pull it.
Christmas
and then,
moss?
Yeah, if you have that super glue. So if you want to shut this water off real quick before it fills, because we're not going to be able to glue underwater. All right, that works. All right, and then all we're going to do with this is we're going to take this lovely old cyanoacrylate based super glue. We're going to throw a little bit on this here. I'm going to actually move this light forward so I can reach my hand back there. And we're just going to throw some of this super glue right up along this thing right here. And then take some moss and break it up into small little pieces and push it down. It might look a little unsightly at first, a little scraggly. I'll be able to see like the solidified super glue. But as it grows upwards towards the light, it's going to add some texture and fill in real nice. Then it's going to trim it back. And then it's going to start just kind of doing like sort of a carpet, but along the texture of the wood. I love moss on wood. That's been one of the goals I wanted for this tank since we started. Just going to take a little bit at a time. I'll throw a little bit right on there first. Just tiny little pieces. Just a little bit. I'm going to go a little at a time here. Oh, it stuck to my finger. Damn it.
Super glue.
This is one struggle I always have with super glue and moss. So it always sticks to the fingers. Let's try one more time. Set it up in there. Perfect. It's a little bit stuck to my finger. That's all right. And we're just going to go along that top part. I'm sorry if you guys are looking at the back of my head. I just kind of, this tank is not the biggest, so I need to be able to see what I'm doing.
Oh, you're good, man. Everyone can still see the tank and see what you're doing.
All right. Just those little balls of this. It doesn't have to look good at all at first, because it's going to grow. It's going to grow upwards. It's going to grow sideways. It's going to grow in all kinds of different ways once it settles in. You could also trim it to kind of push it in certain directions. A little bit. That piece. I didn't even know you already pulled like a ball before, so I pulled another one. I'm just going to throw back down there.
Got so much of that.
Yeah, it grows really, really well down there. There's like a list of plants that I've seen that are known to be able to grow in literal toilets, and it's usually consisted of like jungle val, like mosses, guppy grass, java fern, and Anubias are really the main ones I see in that category. Like I've seen them grow, and looks like that tank in your room, that Anubias is growing like crazy with absolutely no light.
I'm doing nothing for it.
I think we're going to do a little bit on this little side piece as well. And get a little bit right there in the front, and I'd call that good.
Make it look like the tree's growing a little road.
One more little clump here. Alright, I think it's going to fill in quite nice. Alright, now we can get back to filling. Oof! I dropped the light in the tank, it's alright. These Higer lights are indestructible.
Yeah, we do every episode we have accidents. Every episode, it doesn't matter. I think we're made to have accidents, man. Just gonna make sure we find every accident and just put it into like a fat video of all of our accidents.
Yeah, like at the end of the year, best accidents of 2024. So I think this actually might be a mixture of Christmas moss and flame moss, because I have some of it growing in that arrow-shaped Christmas tree pattern, and then I have some of it growing straight up towards the light, and that's a flame moss.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, I like it. Down here it's a little scraggly because there's not much light, but once it gets light, especially like this type of light, you'll see like its true like growth patterns.
Nothing like a little lively plants. Looks like a happy little tree, man.
Happy trees.
We'll turn that water off here soon. Say when?
Like 10 seconds. Alright, that's good.
That was only 5 seconds.
Okay, well, it filled faster than I thought it would.
I counted in my head. That was...
Yeah, I know. I counted too, and it was probably half the time I just said.
So I'm going to do a little close-up on this one more time, and then we're going to jump over to the Pleco tank so you guys can see what else we're working on.
Quick. Oh, yeah. Prime. I forgot prime.
Oh, yeah. We need to do our chemical stuff.
Well, I just dropped the
food. Not only, what are we using right now over here?
This is the second liquid gold Aquarius next to Baby Brine Shrimp, and this is Seachem Prime. This stuff is the holy grail of water conditioners. Good for axolotls, good for turtles, good for all amphibians that access to water, good for fish, obviously. That's what it's marketed to. It's a little bit too much. We're just going to put the rest in here. We don't want to overdose it. All right.
And then what other things are we using? You said that they need this Flourish Excel stuff?
Yes, the Seachem Excel. And I am going to grab my syringe, because you don't want to overdose or underdose it. You got to hit it right on the money. And all we're going to do is read the back, a little calculation.
Man, he pulls out his little box of
baby syringe
tools.
Yeah, it's a little box of tools. I have some zip ties in here, super glue, a brass connection to my thing, to like the sink for my Python, a little snowflake tool,
scissors,
some little toys.
You never know what you're gonna need.
Screwdriver, baby scissors. It's all kinds of cool stuff. We got flow valves in there, T connectors. All right, then we're gonna do.
How much do we want to put in this? It's what, a 7.5 gallon tank, right?
Yeah, that's a question for you. If this is 7.5, then we can go here, and that is. So 5 milliliters for every 10 US gallons, so that would make it about
4.
Yeah, about 3.5, 4 mils. So we're just going to go 2 of the 1.85. I'm simply just going to shake it up first, which I already did. We're going to tip that so we get it. And that's 1.875. Spread it across there. Or come back for another 1.785. It's not an exact dose, but we have enough hardscape in this tank and substrate in this tank where it's going to take away a fair amount of water volume, so I think this is going to work fine. This is just a beat it to the punch. As you can see, there's no serious infestations in here. We just want to give ourselves the best possible chances of success with this tank because we love it.
And how often should I be doing that?
After every water change.
Okay, so once every 2-3 days.
Yeah. And then right now,
3 days now, I need to be doing water change every 3 days.
Yeah, better. Yeah, every 3 days now. And we're just gonna identify which leaves are. That one's just got a little algae on it. I'm mainly looking for the ones with holes. So like this one right here, I'm gonna snip. Then this one, I don't want to knock that out. Cool, I really do.
So the mono shrimp, for anyone curious what that guy is.
They're actually named after Takashi Amano, which is the world's most renowned aquascaper. And this was his go-to algae control, as well as cleanup crew for the tank, because they eat voraciously, and they love algae, all algae.
So you're going to get so popular, you'll have your own fish called the Armando fish?
Oh, yeah. Really all like the good ones are all taken, but if I ever come upon something, I'm taking the name.
Well, I mean, one day I'd love to go around the world and explore and find new little aquarium fish all over the world, dude.
That one. So yeah, I want to hit up Peru and collect some wild aquarium fish eventually.
I want to do. I've seen a lot of stuff in the Philippines, man. A lot of those like little sub islands.
Yeah, the Philippines and the Malaysian islands too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of even like streams like under highways and whatnot have some of the coolest fish. I mean, even in the U.S., there's some really cool native fish. Like one fish I've taken a really good liking to lately is the rainbow shiner.
Yeah, where do you find those?
I believe so I see people collect them out of streams in Ohio, like around like the, not really like northeastern United States, but like central eastern United States. I see them, but I'm pretty sure they have a wide native range, so I'm pretty sure you could find them virtually anywhere. And I think we beat that hair algae on this window. I don't see any.
I don't see any on there either.
Cool. That's the goal. Anything on here? That leaf is still okay enough. That leaf is fine. Java fern leaves can they can look pretty ragged in themselves anyway, so we give them a chance. And like until they're literally falling apart, I don't really mess with them. Like this brown one right here, I'm gonna pull.
Anything browning better off, that way it can have more room to grow.
Yeah, because the plant, even if the leaf is obviously going to die, the plant's going to put a lot of energy in trying to keep it alive. It's just instinct, and it's just easier to pull these broken leaves. Be quiet, you alarm.
Feed your kid.
It's just easier to pull these leaves, so that way the plant can take all the energy it's pulling from the water column to new leaves. Just like how you see right here, there's a new green leaf, new green leaf, new green leaf right here. And right now we're just going through and seeing. All right, I think that's actually all we need to do right now.
Okay, give me just 1 second.
And yep, I think that's it. These crypts are coming in fine. This grass is coming in fine. Actually, I'm really surprised at how quickly this grass is starting to throw out.
Right in such a small tank?
Yeah, like how quickly it's starting to throw out runners.
What do you think would be causing that?
One, the deep substrate bed, and I think we have a really good lighting spectrum in here with those reds, blues, and greens. Like people underestimate how different plants can take to like better lighting,
multiple color.
Yeah, like not just more intense, but those reds, blues, and greens, because that's what mimics the sun a lot. The main colors that come from the sun are reds, blues, and greens, and obviously white. And even if it just looks white to us, the plants feed more on light, and they need nutrients to be able to grow from the light. Where you have to have a good balance of nutrient access plus light, and if you have one without the other, your plants are going to show deficiencies in one way or another, whether they just grow small leaves or holes in the leaves or lots of algae, because algae has a lot less demand for like growing conditions than plants do. Plants sort of need like a good balance of light and nutrients. Algae can thrive in almost any conditions, whether it be mainly with light, but also excess nutrients and low light. Algae will thrive, so you kind of have to find a good balance, which I think we're doing pretty well with this tank here. All right, there's one more leaf we should pull.
True, and then I'd scoop everything off the top and call it good, and so let's jump over to the next one for those watching.
All right.
I'm trying to keep these episodes to like 30 minutes, so we got about 8 minutes to do the water change on the other tank, so I'm going to start getting this positioned over to there.
Take a shrimp net, and I'm just going to go along the top and pull all those.
For anyone curious what we're doing over here.
All right, that was quick.
Might have to turn off the lighting. Give me 1 second.
Let's get this light back in order.
Turn off that one.
Also, dwarf hairgrass is one of those plants that I see a lot of people say you need super high light and you need CO2 for. I find that to be false. Like Monte Carlo and dwarf hairgrass, I've both carpeted in plants with low light and no CO2. It takes longer, obviously, but it's definitely doable. Like it's the plants like HC Cuba or dwarf baby tears or anything like that. They're really the ones that need high light and CO2 to grow. Otherwise, they'll just kind of melt. Like obviously, if you like starve them of light, they're not going to grow. But this tank has a really good amount of light, as well as it has adjustable light. So as the plants grow denser and whatnot, we can always throw the light up there. Tubing. Oh, it's over here.
The tank you guys are looking at is our bristlenose pleco tank. We're trying to get these bristlenose to breed. We have a long fin and a short fin. Long fin female, short fin male. Be so kind to start that up.
Yes. And then
hold that up a little bit because I'm trying to get this down in here real quick. Get some of the stuff off the bottom. A lot of poop and stuff. Get that off the bottom.
That's one thing you guys got to know about pleco breeding tanks is that breeding plecos is easy as long as you shove as much food as you can in their face and keep up with good water conditions. If you skip out on one of them, they will stay alive for sure because they're expert at survival, but they will not breed. As well as if they do breed, they're going to have a higher chance of eating their own eggs or the eggs being infertile. If you want the best breeding chances possible, which is what we're going for in here, we are going to stuff a bunch of food in their faces and keep them water changes.
Yep.
Ideally, we'd have this in like a 40-gallon breeder or a minimum of 20-gallon long, but it's definitely doable in a 10-gallon tank, especially if you're only trying to raise 1 or 2 batches at a time.
Yep. They don't need a lot, just a little. Just enough to show you guys how to do it.
It's also good entry level.
Yep.
To see if this is like really what you want to do, because it's not for everybody. I don't really breed plecos like how I used to. I breed my super reds right now. Those guys are putting on size, but I'm only raising 1 or 2 batches right now, especially because they're pushing like 100 babies a batch. Yeah, I love those long-term super reds. It took me 2 years to get them in the breeding condition.
Man, that's
I think
a
you
lot.
have like a little ball of stuff up there too. We're probably just going to take that crypt now.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we'll put that into a different tank.
All right. Same with that little pot that it was in, because I do want to experiment with that. I want to try and just going to toss that in here so it stays wet.
Your little pot. Almost at a 50% water change for these guys. I'd say we're about there. Okay. Be so kind to dump that this time?
Yes, I can.
And then if you give me the fill hose, I can set that up and tell you to turn it on. Reverse the roles.
Fill hose.
Teamwork.
There's that fill hose. Let's toss this over here and fill it.
Fill hose is attached to the shower so we can control our water temperature.
Alright.
And then I need a little bit of Seachem Prime as well, please.
Indeed.
Dechlorinate our water, get in the right conditions.
This is only a 10 gallons. We really don't need much at all.
No, just a little dribble. Dribble. You can see that chemical going in there. It's so cool how it morphs into the water and then fades away. Whew, some stinky poop smelling chemical. Seachem Prime, I don't know what it is, but it smells like death and poop mixed together. It's gross.
One of my Australian friends named Nick, he says Seachem Prime smells like sun bleached bum holes.
Makes sense. I completely agree with that.
I get it. Like, it's bad. It's bad, dude. I spilled it all over my carpet one day. I replaced the carpet. I cut out the square. When I got a carpet mattress Home Depot, I learned how to install carpet myself in that square. I could not do that smell. It doesn't go away.
Okay, we're almost ready. I'll let you know. There's a little blob of food up here with some fungus and stuff. Oh, there it is. Alright, you're good. That doesn't need filled all the way to the brim. We're all done with that.
Which you can do because we have a lid. And the one thing we were going to do with this is go take some pothos clippings and throw it in the back.
Yep. So
we tried live plants, but Plecos don't play well with nice plants.
Did you get some pothos trimmings anywhere?
No, we were going to do that on video, remember?
Okay, so we're going to go follow over here. So I have some of those. They're the little vines.
And I'll probably take a couple from right here and a couple from right there. Because then you might even get some more grow points.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to put that right there. And then right there.
Let's go, Power Rangers.
All right, so there's two from right there. Where'd that leaf go?
It fell down there on the kids' toys.
All right, that is a node.
I got a nice little archway going. As long as you don't stunt my path, that's all I ask. Let them keep growing.
All right, and then we could probably get 3 or 4 clippings from this one.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Everyone else looking around, this is the facility. It's in my house, yes, but it all works.
All right, if you want to show people how to clip pothos correctly, because I see some people try it and they grow what's known as ghost leaves. So all I need to do with pothos clippings is it's called an epiphyte plant, just like Anubias and Java fern. It grows from a rhizome, and a rhizome is basically just this thing. So it's going to grow a vine, just like this. Like say it's just like that, a vine, and the leaves are going to grow from the vine. And what you can do to clip it is you only need 1 leaf, and the main important thing is a piece of this rhizome. And you need these nodes, these like little black things, because these are meant to grow up trees. And so when these nodes touch water, they begin to throw out taproots, whether it be into tree bark or water. And you just need some of these dark black nodules or nodes, and they'll just have to be in the water, and they will start to intake that water and grow roots. And the reason why we're doing this in this tank is because Plecos don't play well with plants like crypts or swords. Sometimes they do, but in a tank where they're going to be breeding, they're going to be very hungry, and they're just going to start munching on it. So what I like to do is just take some pothos clippings and throw them right up in the back. Doesn't have to be pretty. This is also right under a light. We're just going to throw it right in the back of, there's a gap between the lid and the filter. I'm just going to stuff them in there. It's kind of hard to get with this light, but it's very simple.
Sorry, I can't pay for sound effects, so I got to make them myself.
And then just like how you can see right there, those will start to grow a little forest of roots. The Plecos may trim them, but they'll just grow more roots. And those leaves, especially being right under that light, they will put out vines, and eventually over some time they'll start to
vines growing all over this thing.
Exactly, start to have some vines up in the fish room.
Okay. Well,
and then one thing we could do is probably just throw this crypt back in that pot and put it somewhere.
Okay, go ahead and put that in there, and then I think after that we're going to have to call it good because we're hitting about 30 minutes. Thank you everyone for watching. Pendley's Plentiful Pets, Arizona Fish Rescue.
All right, I need
located Kingman, Arizona.
Tweezers.
Crazy how fast time flies by us when you're having fun or working on stuff. But we have fun working on stuff, so.
That's a real pain in the ass.
I believe next week we're going to have to cull some shrimpies, check on all the shrimpies and see how all they're doing. Been doing my standard weekly water changes with them. The blues and blacks have been breeding. So if you're curious how that goes, check out the rest of our videos. We have other stuff dealing with the shrimp and culls. Where's that bag of fluval stratum? We need like a little pinch on top of this. Down there, I believe.
All right. Okay, I see it. Just a pinch. Because a lot of it fell out of the bottom.
Yep, good old Plecos. Shh.
Alright, well, that's it. And where do you want this, good sir?
I don't know, find a nice little spot for it. Wherever you think it would look cool. Somewhere where one of the shrimp tanks maybe that need plants.
Yeah, let's toss it right up here in this open spot in the reds. I think we'll try that.
Yeah, if the reds will ever breed.
The red crypt with the red shrimp.
If anyone's near Kingman AZ and wants to donate some red shrimp to help us breed them, we definitely could use a new line because it seems like ours kind of bled out. But I've also been breeding for 5+ years. I've gotten shrimp, cycled them through, and it just seems to be time for a new set. Haven't rescued many shrimp lately.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any buried just yet.
No, they just don't want to do it. Maybe we'll just have to put some different colors in there and see if we can get, just to see, you know, mix it up a little bit but still get the red genes we need. Even if we do blacks and darken the blacks up with the reds. Okay, we ready? All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Having Armando and me working on this tank, making little stuff here and there. We're about 4 weeks into this tank, watching us do a water change and working on the bristlenose Plecos stuff. Thank you again so much for watching. I'm Matt.
I'm Armando.
We're Pendley's Plentiful Pets,
Arizona Fish Rescue, based out of Kingman, Arizona.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Let's toss some of this bug bite.